Let's dive into the future of the Philadelphia Eagles with DeVonta Smith's massive contract extension and a roster poised for success through 2028, from Cam Jurgens, taking the helm at center, to Howie Roseman's cap wizardry. Let's explore the team's potential and looming draft decisions. Look, man, join us as we dissect Jalen Hurts' quest for communication, the promise of voluntary training turnouts, and even rumors of Bill Belichick eyeing the Eagles sideline. The excitement is palpable, and the time is now. So tune in as we weigh in on the latest Eagles buzz. Look, man, you already know what to do, man. Just in case y'all forgot, make sure y'all like, make sure y'all comment, make sure y'all subscribe, make sure y'all hit that notification bell so you always up to date, because you know how they're gonna bring that work. But look, man, DeVonta Smith and the Philadelphia Eagles agreed to a 3-year extension through 2028. This contract is worth $75 million with $51 million guaranteed. They will be using Smitty's 5th-year option, which will put Smitty around 15 to 16 million for the 2025 campaign. Smitty and Brown both have been 1K receivers for the last 2 years. With all the new signings and extensions that we have just witnessed, for example, Saquon, Landon, Mailata, Smitty, etc., the future is looking bright for the Philadelphia Eagles, man, through 2028, with the nucleus of the team still being under contract until that time. Look, man, the time is now, and we don't have no time to waste. Look, man, I listened to Howie Roseman. I listened to Nick Sirianni. We were definitely concerned about who the starting center would be moving forward, and it's looking like it's going to be Cam Jurgens. And I have all the trust in the world in center Cam Jurgens. I think that he was a little bit out of position last year. So, he had a decent season. It wasn't the best, right? But it was good. But now that he'll be back in position, playing center, I think we'll see more from Cam Jurgens. But I got a real good question for y'all, man. What is the chances that Howie Roseman and the Philadelphia Eagles draft the offensive tackle? It's been so many reports coming out that the Eagles would like to trade up and draft a player like J.C. Latham or Troy Fontenot, or some other guys out there that the Eagles are interested in. Jackson Powers, that plays center for, I think he played for Oregon or something like that. It's a lot of reports out there, man. We know Howie Roseman and how he roll when it comes to drafting players in the first round. He said he likes the trenches. He also said today in his presser, that he felt like it was yesterday, excuse me. He felt like that the Philadelphia Eagles would be taking the best player available, and they're not trying to be scheme specific or just basically, picking a player just because they want to fill that position. The Eagles are looking to fill the roster with players, with the best available player with that early pick. Now, will the Eagles move up? Will the Eagles move back? We don't know. Like, we all know that the Eagles don't have a 3rd round pick. So could the Eagles, package up some picks and get a 3rd round pick in the draft? And during the trade, we don't know. We know how we like to make those moves. But look, man, Howie Roseman is a cap god. To be honest, I would give Howie an A+ if it wasn't for the Hassan trade. The Hassan trade kind of, I feel like he got slapped around a little bit. But if it wasn't for that trade, I would definitely say that Howie Roseman gets an A+. But I do give Howie an A for the things that he has done this offseason. It's a lot of teams that wish that they general manager or the front office had the kahunas to pull off the moves that Howie Roseman does. And think about it, man. The cap hits moving forward is not a problem. Howie Roseman is just that guy. He's just that guy. Look, man, but let's talk about my guy Jalen Hurts and his press conference. He said he needs to work on his communication going into the season, and that kind of resonates resonated with me, man. That kind of made me think that this team had an issue last season with communication. We know Jalen Hurts is one of those guys that kind of sit in the back and he don't say much, you know, but he said that he wanted to up that communication this season.
The importance of the work, the foundation that we have for ourselves, and the culture that we live by. I think those things are kind of reinforced.
I'm not sure if he was taking a shot at the HC, but it really makes me think that he was referring to Nick and that see-through scheme, that stale scheme. You know, another thing, man, that we really got to think about, the Eagles were 21-6 under a dynamic structure, which took us to the Super Bowl. And ever since that dynamic structure left and Nick Sirianni was in charge and the onus was on him, we were 13-11 without that dynamic structure, and the epic collapse followed. This was the worst collapse I've seen from a Philadelphia Eagle team all my life. You know, people always bring up the Rich Kotite era. That was a bad time as well. But just to think about it, no one going 10-1 and just having an epic collapse like that, that was the worst. That was the worst that I ever seen. So a question I got, man, is can Kellen Moore help build the structure and get us back to the brand of ball that we all accustomed to seeing? That's yet to find out. You know, Jalen also discussed, you know, that he's been in different systems um, throughout most of his careers, you know, and he's cool with it. He's built for tough. Um, he thrives on stuff like this, and that's how he's become super successful. He's battle tested. He's ready to take the next step. And in my opinion, that would be winning the Super Bowl. That's just how I feel. Um, and look, man, Jalen Hurts was out there. He had on his Phillies hat. You know what I'm saying? He representing for the city, and we all good with that. We all good with that, man. The Eagles had a great turnout on their first day of voluntary training. You know, everybody showed up from Jalen Hurts to Dallas Goddard. I even seen Sidney Brown there. I think he had a leg brace on or a leg band on, but he was there. I'm not sure, you know, what the status is of him yet, but at the same time, man, just to see him walking all gingerly, all casually, look, man, I'm super excited for Sidney Brown to come back. You know, also, I seen Brandon Graham was there, you know, so it was a lot of guys there, man. We had a lot of guys there when a lot of other teams and franchises, these guys are holding out. They not showing up to the voluntary stuff, but the Eagles had a great turnout. Look, man, Howie Roseman and Nick Sirianni, they said some great things in a presser. He addressed the fact, you know, that he don't hit on corners in the draft, and that's major, man. The last corner he drafted that had any type of success was the 7th-round pick, the Green Goblin, Jalen Mills. You know, who was on the team when we made the Super Bowl, but he was definitely a casualty of that double move, man. We definitely got to think about that, you know. But Will Howie raised the importance in drafting a corner in the first round, since the last time he did it was in the early 2000s, and it was Lito Shepherd. You know, so you know Howie definitely did touch on that. He did say, you know, that he was willing to, you know, like I said, take the best player available. I am not opposed to the Philadelphia Eagles grabbing a player like Wiggins or Quinyon, or even just waiting until the second round and grabbing a guy like Kool-Aid or even what's his name, DeJean. So it's this cornerback draft class is one of the best that I've seen, man. And people are saying that Wiggins is not worth a first round pick, but I gotta say that that's incorrect, man. And I think it's because his body stature. I think because he's a real skinny guy. But look, man, that dude's a baller. He plays well. You know, you can put him in any situation. I would like to see him more on the outside, in my opinion. But I did hear people say that they would like to see him more on the inside. But look, man, in my opinion, we have to do stuff in this draft to build up this defense. This offense is one of the at least top 5 offenses in the league. But this defense, man, I just don't know how we going to pan out. Um, especially at the linebacker spot. I know we just went and picked up Devin White. And I did see Nakobe Dean in his presser saying that, he was close to being 100% healthy. But is he the guy? Is he the guy that we can trust? I just don't know, man. I just don't know about Nakobe Dean. I think that he plays fairly decent in run fits, but in coverage, sometimes he's a liability. But at the same time, I would like to draft a linebacker. Look, with the draft only being probably like a week and a half away, man, it's time to buckle down and start thinking who we would like to see on this team. Even though, I've been doing mock drafts with the gang and doing, different things by myself, just to try to build up, this team. Who can we bring here to fluff up this team and make this defense better? Reports from John Clark that Tyler Steen will be starting at right guard. It's just a report. Nobody said it was true yet, and he was saying that it was because the lockers that he have is with the starters. I think it's a good deal, man. I think it's a good deal. He was a player that kind of was redshirted last year because we didn't need him as much as we do this year. Um, but look, man, it's time for him to get a shot. He's been in that Stoutland University. He's been there. I trust him. I think it's time for him to get his shot. He's from Alabama, man. So look, let's roll, man. Let's see what this guy could do. Um, Look, I want to talk about the linebacker spot, man, because as we get close to the draft, I gotta bring up the awareness. Nakobe Dean, like I said in his presser, he's out the walking boot. He's out of surgery. He's getting healthier. But is he ready to take the next step in his development? We don't know, man. But there's a lot of good linebackers that we can pick with our first pick or also with our second pick in the second round. There's people there like Peyton Wilson, like Cooper. Also, Trotter's name was brought up by Howie Roseman because he said that he likes to bring in that hometown talent. And I'm kind of getting off on a tangent here, but should Nakobe Dean get the start next year next to White, next to Bond, or should there be some type of competition between whoever we pick up in the draft if we pick up somebody in the draft at the linebacker position? But the deciding factor is going to be next week. Look, man, the Eagles have had tons of top 30 visits with players like Max Melton. Even today, I heard, reports of Marshawn Lloyd, running back from USC, to Kool-Aid McKinstry, Latu, and and many, many more guys, that has came and seen the Philadelphia Eagles for that top 30. And how we said that, he likes to do that because it gets a heads up on these players before draft. And, I'm cool with it. He's looking to add the best talent on the team. So how could we ever be mad at that? Which is it's a bit different than how he usually do things, how he normally draft. But I feel like Howie Roseman is ready to make the change and do what's best for the team. And look, man, we got the best GM in football, man. There's also been, a lot of talk or a few reports about Bill Belichick. He would love to come coach the Philadelphia Eagles next year. And I really feel like it's too early to be thinking about that, or even I'm gonna give Nick Sirianni one more year to show us what he can do. You have a really good play caller coming in here, and Kellen Moore. You have Vic Fangio as your defensive coordinator with a slew of really good coaches behind those guys. Great supporting cast. The roster is almost put together. The offense is damn close. Only thing I kind of think that we need on the offensive side of the ball is maybe a right tackle. Somebody who can come in and back up Lane Johnson, because he's definitely probably the best player on the team in my opinion. But he is old. He is an older guy, right? He does have problems staying healthy, so I wouldn't mind drafting a right tackle, to come in and be the backup for Lane, especially with Driscoll not being available. And I still think that us not having Driscoll is a win, because I still feel like Driscoll used to get beat bad, and I'm cool with drafting a right tackle probably somewhere maybe in the 4th round, somewhere in that nature. But look, man, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. It's tough. It's time to get busy, right? The Philadelphia Eagles are gearing up for the draft, right? And look, it's on. It's on, man. But look, man, I'm gonna stop it right here. If you still tuned in and you felt like this video helped you out, please do the channel a favor. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you always up to date. But guess what, man? For now, out.